So, you got a little rowdy at your last gig and broke the peg head on your prized custom Les Paul guitar as you jumped off the amplifier. Now what? Well, if this were to happen to me, I would contact Brian Decabot. Not only is he the best all-around repair person I know, but he also teaches guitar setup and repair classes at Red Rocks Community College in Colorado. Let's watch as Brian works his magic, making this Les Paul as good as new, ready to play another gig.
Yes, I did. To just go down and check out the show.
The first thing to do is remove all of the hardware and store it in a safe place so that you can use it again after the repair is done. This looks like a nasty break. However, it appeared that it was a fairly clean break and that most of the pieces were still intact, allowing for the two pieces to fit back together nicely. This is good because it allows you to set the peg head at the original angle fairly easily. After removing any loose pieces of old glue or wood that could interfere with the new glue joint, Brian then masked off the end of the truss rod. Before gluing the peg head back onto the neck, it is important to do several dry runs to make sure that everything will fit together correctly. One of the problems you're going to encounter when doing this type of repair is how to clamp it while the glue dries. You may need to come up with some interesting clamping calls and methods to make it work for you. What works for one guitar might not work for another, so be creative. The important thing is to not apply glue until you have come up with something that will securely hold the peg head in place at the correct angle while the glue dries. On this peg head, there were some small secondary cracks that, if repaired, would help us get a better fit on the joint. So, some clamps and a little CA glue helped fix those. After much trial and error, we were finally able to come up with a contraption that would work for clamping the peg head to the neck as the glue dried. It may not look pretty, but it worked. Finally, it was time to apply some glue to the joint and glue the two pieces together. I can't stress enough the importance of getting everything aligned and coming up with an adequate clamping contraption before attempting to glue the peg head back onto the neck. You have to make sure that the angle is correct and that the peg head is not leaning left or right of the center line. When you get done, it may not look pretty, but you could probably catch a mouse with it. The next thing that Brian did was use a router to install two hard maple splines on the back of the neck on either side of the truss rod to reinforce the joint. He preferred not to show how this was done, but with a little creative thinking, you should be able to figure it out. Now that the repair has been made, we need to work on the finish. All of the surfaces that will not get sprayed need to be masked off. A combination of blue painter's tape, pinstriping tape, and newspaper ensure that the new finish covers only the area of the peg head that was repaired. To match the somewhat faded finish that was on the guitar, Brian mixed ambered colored lacquer with white lacquer to get the perfect match. After several coats in the spray booth, the finish came out looking just like the original. A little leveling with sandpaper, and then some buffing with the buffer, and the finish was as good as new. So, the next time you decide to jump off amplifiers, please protect your guitar. However, if you do happen to crack your peg head, then you know how to fix it.